loves, Kim here, and I'm back with another video. So this is going to be a two-part video, and I am building a water park. This is in the world of Newcrest, and it is called Adventure Island. And I absolutely love how this turned out. My inspiration was just different water parks that I've seen online. And one that I've been to myself is called Six Flags Whitewater. I'm from Georgia, so this is just something that pretty much everybody goes to. Well, I'm not gonna say everyone, but a lot of people like in the Atlanta or like Cobb or just kind of like surrounding areas go during the summer, and it's so much fun. I actually didn't go to Whitewater for the first time until I was about 16, maybe 17, because I worked at Six Flags, the theme park, which isn't near Whitewater. Six Flags is like in Austell, Whitewater is in Cobb. It's not too far away, but when you're 16 and don't have a car, it seems like forever away. So yeah, that was my first time going to Whitewater when I was a teenager working at Six Flags, and I was just so happy because if you worked at Six Flags, you can get in the Whitewater for free, but that's just a whole other story. Anyway, that was my inspiration. Of course, this doesn't look much like Whitewater, but just thinking about how things are set up and different attractions and things like that, that is where I drew my inspiration from. So right now I'm creating a quote unquote lazy river. Of course, it doesn't function like a lazy river, but I noticed that a lot of theme parks have one for people that are not as strong swimmers or people who just want to relax and let the current of the water take them around the park or around whatever area that the lazy pool covers. I really wanted to go with the whole kind of like tropical island theme. Right now it's pretty much almost wintertime, like we're wrapping up with fall. And I don't know, I am not a big fan of the cold. I would rather be warm than cold. So I just wanted something that my Sims could escape the winter, even though we don't have seasons. Hopefully, we will have seasons next year. Like, hopefully, that will be the next expansion pack we get. But since we don't, I'm just thinking in my mind, maybe my Sims want to get away from the cold, get away from the snow, and just do something a little bit more warm and tropical. So, yeah, here it is. Like I said, I love how this came out. There is like this kind of like elevated tiki bar area, which I'm building right now. There's also kind of like a food court, if you will, using various food stalls from City Living. And there's also like a kids play area, a wave pool, which is like the larger pool in the middle, and there's like a ride, if you will, using the I think they call them like backyard lawn. I don't know what they call them in the game, but it's kind of like a big slip and slide that came with the backyard stuff pack, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and then there's also this little shop that we get into later on that is behind the wave pool. Um, this lot is a pool. I'm gonna leave it as a pool just so like your Sims can have different events like birthday parties or just different like social gatherings here. But this place can easily be converted to a retail store. Inside of the little shop, there's a couple different mannequins and some other items that you can set for sale if you choose to do so. And it is perfectly on theme with a water park. So yeah, back into the build. I'm over here building the slide area. In my head, it will be called something like 100-meter splash or just something really cute like that. Because you gotta run and slide through the slip and slides, and I just thought it was perfect, and it was on theme, and it fit very well with the whole water park idea. Um, Now the stairs change up. I keep them in the end kind of more so how I'm doing it right now, with the back stairs facing towards the wall and the front stairs facing the opposite way. Um, but in the build you don't see that because I do switch it up. But as I was playtesting it and taking screenshots, I decided that the way that I originally had the stairs just looked better and it flowed better, in my opinion. So yeah, don't get thrown off by that if you choose to download this into your game. It's just a minor change, mainly for aesthetic reasons and just for a little bit of easier gameplay or route walking for your Sims. So yeah, I noticed that every time there's like a slide or a ride, you have to go up at least, it seems like at least 2 stories. I would have took it a little bit higher, but I didn't want just blank floors with nothing there. So I only take it to the 3rd story. And yeah, I had so much fun. I really had so much fun. The only thing that I don't like is that with the slip and slide. I mean, and normally I would like it, but in this instance with the slip and slide, once they slide down at once, they just walk back up through the slide and do it again instead of going all the way around. It's a little unrealistic, but this is The Sims. There's only so much that you can do. But it functions, and look-wise, it is amazing. The recurring theme that I have here is just shades of blue. I try to keep it like really tropical, really beachy. And I try to make everything look realistically supported. Um, aka these columns that I'm using that look more on the steel side. I was going to use the wood columns or timber columns, but something that massive and obviously that heavy needs to be supported by steels. And even though it's not going to affect your Sims in game, it's just, I don't know, I want it to be as realistic as possible. So yeah, just going through, I used a couple of the new holiday items that we got with the most recent patch. I used the Sandy Snowman, and I also used the Surfing Santa in front of the gift shop. It's so cute, and I felt like since it is around Christmas and the holiday season, the Surfing Santa was absolutely perfect for this build. So yeah, that was right in time. If you notice a couple of chunks of the video missing, I do apologize for that. A lot of my footage at the beginning of the build was really, really choppy, and I was like, oh my gosh, no, no. But I think I made it work. I got a lot of the major parts, and anything that you miss is really nothing. It's probably just like building square rooms. Like it's nothing significant missing from the build, but I didn't want to make you guys suffer through the choppiness of the quality of that video. So yeah, I'm building the stairs, and like I said, Sims, they typically don't go the way that you would intend for them to go as far as their walking paths, but I do have an exit stairway um, just to make the build more realistic, because typically you don't enter the same way that you exit, so I do have 2 separate stairways. What I eventually do is build a gate, which you can lock and unlock if you want Sims to go up a specific staircase. Otherwise, if your Sims are traveling up in a group, um, if you're traveling up in a group, one would go one way and the other one would go the other way. So yeah, here I am, just kind of deciding what I'm going to do next, and I remembered that I needed to build a bathroom area. So I have a male and female bathroom. Each of them have 3 shower spots, 2 restroom stalls, 2 sinks, and locker area. So I've decided to put lockers inside of the restrooms as well as outside of the restrooms. I don't know. I see that a lot at different theme parks and water parks because you may need to change clothes, or you might come already clothed in like your swimwear, and you just need to put up some things like your keys or like your purse. So I gave the option of both inside and outside lockers. Obviously your Sims aren't going to use all of them at the same time, but hey, just for realistic purposes, I did both. So with that being said, I would say probably the most important packs you will need is City Living for the food stalls, also Spa Day for the lockers, and the backyard stuff pack for the slip and slide, and the outdoor retreat if you want those showers specifically, but those can really be replaced by any shower. I just like them because they didn't look like the most expensive, and they look the most similar to the ones you would see at a water park. I'm trying to think, are there any other like vital packs? Not really. I would probably say Perfect Patio too if you want a lot of the furniture that I use, like the tables I use a little bit later on with the umbrella. Also a lot of the seating that will be in the cabana that I make a little bit later on, as well as where the tiki bar is. But yeah, I use a lot of different packs. I haven't gotten to the point where I've restricted what packs I like to use. I am going to do some builds like that in the future, but for now, when I have like a build that I'm just absolutely inspired by, I just go for it. And I don't know, I just let my imagination run wild. I will also say that get to work is really important if you would like to use this as a retail lot, or if you want your Sims to visit this as a pool and you want the gift shop to just look really nice, because again, I do use a couple of mannequins in there for different like style swimwear options. I used the toddler pack for a couple things. It's not absolutely essential. Like I used the toddler pack for those blue tables by the food court, and like a light and maybe a few other things, but again, it's not absolutely essential to this build. So yeah, I really wanted to use that octagonal roof. I just love the new roofing options that we got last month, right before our cats and dogs dropped publicly, and I've really just been using the mess out of the octagonal roofs. And I got the idea to use that ship because I know a lot of different parks have something like some object like a plane or a ship or like an animal kind of inserted into a building to give it more of like that seaside vibe or beach vibe. So I wanted to use the ship, and I just felt like it was very on theme with the whole island adventure feels that I wanted to go for. Here I'm just expanding that upper deck. I just kind of felt like it was a really awkward shape, and I wanted to put more things up there besides Sims just walking around. I wanted to make that space as functional as possible. Here I am just adding a couple of bins. I do add more. I know that theme parks and just public places in general tend to have a lot of trash bins just to make sure people are keeping the park nice and clean. And I initially was going to build the retail store in that little corner, but I decided that behind the wave pool had the most space, and there was already kind of like a rectangle there. So I knew I could work that space out and make the wave pool a little bit smaller. At first I didn't want to, but when I really looked at it, that wave pool was absolutely huge, and they still have the quote lazy river to use, so there is no shortage of swimming space on this lot. No shortage at all. And I love those 2-story windows and doors that came with City Living. I don't use them too often because I do feel like they are a little bit over the top, but for this particular build, I felt like it was perfect. It was blue, and the shape gave more of like a theatrical feel, so I thought that it was perfect for something that is really themed. And I wanted to get as many palm trees as possible. I just really wanted to convey that this was like a little island. Of course, you know, not a natural island or a natural beach, of course, but just to really give people those feels. And I'm using this umbrella. It's in the sculptures, and it came with Get Together. I did use a lot of items from that pack. I don't feel like it's as essential as like Get to Work or Get not Get or City Living, but I do use some items from there, so if you have it, it's definitely a plus for this build. I love those. I just love that whole seating set that came with. It came with like the outdoor packs kind of confused me. I think that was Perfect Patio. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Perfect Patio because I get that one confused with the backyard stuff pack. Because all the icons are like really similar, and like all of the stuff packs are one color, so it's like which one. But yeah, and I'm using these benches here, and I think that is just base game. I eventually changed the color because I felt like towards the end it was just too much blue. And again, with the spa day, I'm using these yoga mats to kind of convey the idea that there are towels being laid out on the beach area. And I try to avoid the lighter color ones because they just blend in too much with that sand terrain paint. And what made me decide to do a shop is because I was thinking, what items could I use to make this feel more realistic, more like an actual water park? And I thought about those. What do you call them? I don't know if they're actually like skateboards, but I sized them up to use them as like surfboards or bodyboards in the shop. And once I realized I had those, I knew that the shop would be awesome. And here in the kids play area, I used that pirate ship. I was going to use the toddler jungle gym, but I felt like the pirate ship made more sense at a water park. And I don't know, I felt like with a water park, you wouldn't let your toddler do too much free play. You know, it's kind of scary with all the water and the slippery parts. So I decided to make that like a kiddie area opposed to a toddler area. And I think it worked out very well. The different fountains and sprinklers that I use over here, they don't affect the gameplay at all. So it makes the place or the area look more wet without compromising the gameplay of the object. So yeah, I really love the way it came out. I love those turtles. I think the turtles are base game. And I eventually used the sand terrain paint over here. I think it's like the warmer sand one. It's like Sand Kiss Beach or Sun Kiss Beach. I don't know. It's something like that, but it's like more on the warmer side of tones. And since I had to expand the kiddie area, that means I had to slightly change our lazy river here. So a couple of those columns do get shifted, but I do move them to where they still are supporting the sliding area above. Let me know what you guys think about this build. Please feel free to leave me a lovely comment down below if you are enjoying this, and if you like these types of videos where I'm talking the whole time. This is kind of new to me, doing so much talking, but I am enjoying myself. This build will be available on the gallery right after part 2 is posted on the video. This build altogether probably took me about 10 hours to do. Just because there's like a lot of little details, like a lot of rocks and a lot of fountains, and like, I guess they're called water emitters in games, but I refer to them more as sprinklers. Like, there's just a lot of little details that I did off camera. But I got like 8 hours of footage. So I sped that up, but you know, still it was like almost a 50-minute video. So I decided to break this up into 2 parts, make the watching of this video a little bit easier on you guys. I know that 50 minutes is a bit much in one sitting, so hopefully breaking this up in 2 parts help. I would consider myself a slower builder, but also a very detailed builder, so that really contributes to how long these videos actually end up being. I do my best to keep it under half an hour because I know you guys have other things to do, and I just appreciate you guys watching my videos. So back to the build. There goes that surfing Santa I was talking about. He disappeared, but he comes back by the gift shop, and I'm trying to do kind of like a awning or covering at the top. I noticed that a lot of water parks has this because, of course, the higher up you are, the more you're feeling the beam of the sun on your neck and down your back. So yeah, hopefully a little bit of shading helps. I didn't want to completely cover it because at certain angles you wouldn't be able to see your Sims walking up or see them sliding down on the slip and slide. So yeah, I just did like a slight covering, and now I am creating a bit of a sign, just so you can see it from the street and you can see it from different parts of the park, that this is what this ride is. Come on and slide down me right now. And I'm just going through looking for different signage that would be on theme with this build. That anchor, as well as the little crab sign and the billboards that are going to go on the back side of the bathrooms, as well as that that wooden sign out front. All of that came with the Cats and Dogs expansion. Yeah, all of those like signage, they're from the Cats and Dogs expansion. It's not absolutely necessary, but I do feel like it adds a little bit of realism to the build, because in public places there tends to be a lot of different advertisements and signage just letting you know what's going on at the venue. So yeah, this pool was kind of hard for me to figure out. Not necessarily because of the complexity of it, because it's fairly simple, but I don't know, it's just a large pool, and I'm trying to make the space in the middle functional for various things, you know, just for your Sims to kind of hang out on like the beach area, also for the exit area from the slip and slide, and then now the store. So I'm constantly resizing the pool to make it accommodate the space. So yeah, and I'm going back in with terrain paints, just kind of making the area more cohesive looking. Of course, if you're at a water park, the ground is not going to be grass, because just imagine wet feet and grass. That would be absolutely annoying. Like, the filtration system at this place would have to be like immaculate to get rid of all of the grass constantly being filtered in. So I wanted to make sure that I use the sand in certain places to kind of give it that look and feel, but mostly like that pavement texture. Not necessarily like the roughest pavement, because that would be kind of rough and harsh on your feet, but just kind of more of like the, I don't even know what it's called, but it looks kind of more like a mix between pebble and tile. So yeah, this pretty much wraps up part 1 of the Adventure Island build. Let me know what you think about this build so far. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on my social medias. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all love this build as much as I do, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.